or if we, other than that, it doesn't stop them because they are given their ration. This is your spending. It doesn't really look big and huge and so expensive. But if you cut it down and all these little expenses, they become affordable and achievable. Yesterday to get little things that we wanted in the morning, and he found New World. I used to drive past New World, and even in Brisbane I saw New World, and I remember the New World back in future places. And even the last time we came as a family in December, we went to Back and Stay. So, all these little things, we bought the bacon and everything that we did also last night. And what I see, I've noticed, because I always go with my daughter, and what we've noticed, the cost was, quite high. So maybe for those of you that live in New Zealand, the most economical, the most cheapest supermarket to go to, which offers the same thing, but really depends on the name and the chain of that supermarket. But one thing that I found last night, because I've never been to New World here in New Zealand or Australia, that was my first, and I must thank my husband, because I was saying, no, I went to New World yesterday, it was really good, like they had all of the stuff. And it's about 5 minutes drive from where we are. From where this Airbnb is. So we went here yesterday, and it's amazing. The difference in cost. I wasn't checking every single item, but we were buying the normal thing that we usually buy, like the eggs, the bacon, the sausage, the chicken, and all this offering that we did the last time. And we did exactly the same because we had 2 trolleys full for each Airbnb. And when we came to the counter, to the cashier, and I just remembered when we were in Auckland at Pack and Save, when we did go through with all that for the whole time that we were going to be here. We were going to be here for 9 days. At that time, we were there for 10 days, like 1 day extra. The cost, it cost us like nearly 1,000 or 900 to 1,000 after we did those trolley back in Pack and Save. But for here, that one trolley on its own was 400 something, and for the cost of the 2 Airbnb was still lesser than the cost of 1 Airbnb items and meal offering that we did. So that was quite a saving, a real saving on our part. And those are the little things and the little tips that you can find out, that you can do. They can help you plan your family. And some of you do your travel that comes with your work. You travel because of your work. And just check which travel, makes you stay longer in that country, so you can extend a bit and take your family with you. And I know I spoke a little bit on the airline staff, working for the airline, when you fly or when you go into deep travel, things are provided, accommodation are provided, like it's being paid for. So try and take your family with you, because you expose them to this experience, and that they can do that. For me, that is my excitement, just to see somebody who haven't done, and to see that added knowledge or added, info into their life, that they know something that they never know before. That excitement, I find, it's really, quite interesting too, because we assume that everybody's all the same. But when you actually have those experiences with certain people or where you are, then it really makes you appreciate your exposure, and also really pushes you to share the little you have to benefit others around you.
And Ruang mulut tuan orang luar Hamilton, yang orang Waikato, na tini na chief lah pasal na area mo. Itu cuci ni kuat. Ruang mulut tuan ni kami. Kalau kita orang tu na cakap pasal non dalam kuat. Dulu kami bingung. Kita kan esok kita na orang Malaysia ni guna ilau. Kita ada sini gambar ni tu orang ni. Dulu kami na mau plan tak na mau lako. Sebelum mana kami suah, saya fikir da tuna bi korkor da lo mai tauni Kaya maganda na siniplenta ka, di ba? Ito na galuwa. Kaya siniplenta ka na mulya. Kung narita na ba, yung sa nabuli-buli. Kaya nga ko, biya, buli, kita na ka. Nung to mo mulya, sa awat ito na namubad, siya na ilaw ko karot kamay. Kung malasari kami, na numutuwa ka, na namulakon doon na manuwa, siya na namu Mexico, na manuwa na ako kina, bigat ko na kakirong nito rin tubani, dua man nga, tawag na kalawang ko, mong biyo na manuwa, biti, berakamo, nung passport, tiko na manuwa, na tiko kina. Dua nga na manuwa, na tiko kina nung passport. Bala nga una kaya, Udah travel kina, iko kila kung nanti ko kina bag. Numutale mo ko so na kaya do mula da magalim. Ano mo kini do la ko kina, ano mo to ka mangana so na mo sa do la ko mo to ka. Do na tantal ka sa ba di na vida na mato saud. Kero gali mo ni latte mai dolphin. Na ngora kero so mai sumu kina na latte, me kero distribuita ka na ko kina latte. Gai na mo ko na na mobile tu na taxi. Yan taxi ka. Gai di no ko ai oje half an hour sai smoke okay taro ka ba na motel tu la sa okay mulai na taxi go okay taro okay di mo na taxi okay ito to taro do taxi na robi mo na kampo do ya do na mo ke do travel kina ya ni na travel overseas da turmanwa go do tan na level di risk ke bale na no mungangaroni no mo bag la lai o si bag la lai na talboni sono quello che non dole indabikina come mo kabuka e tu sono na tana there a pocket behind the seat era di mule da vikina wata na kina na security areas uno con bitike kina na kake di tu na mutana e con biuta na dei due na missili e sono mo ne avesse dua che magari bimbi na kaira era biukina na mo bag na no telefoni se na no passport na tu da iPad me come tuba e sono kai con do mule da tu e na nuova ni che was to travel e rambo ile tipo na volvo che robo che o claro bene che weekend for us that we are traveling overseas sometimes for the program that you go to Australia or come to New Zealand or go even British when you are first travelers most of the time that we miss out on little things and can be very costly. So na ono mo nangaroni ke mga tuwe babalai weekend uno ke wala ko kini na chuna no mupek beko so na ngoni to kuno mo to ka roni borro mo to ka isa ito sa so to lebu so ka ba no lebu America so na dito tatanga sa to ka sumai erdo mayai da lagi no passport go so na ka bi mu ke weekend and on the travel light et evidentamente una listing che volevo che magari non è un telefoni non una chiede mo turchina non chiede mo la buchina e dobbiamo basta le una che da si riclani doveva mica dare excitement sono non che da too busy e dopo una da dove va messo la e da va scusa di dalako e sono non che sa duringa e da tuko nga biko nga che non raki so che non raki mondo che non raki sasa sono non che dopo che sono ka e dopo amarigeta tutta la cambona non da la quella di boli sono non da politico e da si ne da expiry date da boli mai di babala in tutta sa di cosa boli o che to bila ka me visalo si tutta la cavo me ko bila kata sa do den sa pa se no so na tips ni travel ba na bila ka weekend na da hospital mo taka ko ka ro ti ko na tu kina na vital no and mataka ni sin ko viva on get to weekend for those of you that we are watching this program Family Table Talk and as you travel together as families Radin was sharing the Airbnb what going to a supermarket and buy a lot of things that they are very cheap rather than going and eat out or go to a fast food.
I mean, you do your meal plan, Do your meal plan and identify. So what we have done, like if it's for breakfast, if it's bread, butter, Vegemite, or if it's going to be a full breakfast of egg and bacon with sausage, all those things. So you have to write out your menu and then you go out and itemize the list, and that's what you buy. Because you're buying the list to the menu. Don't go and buy without the menu, because when you buy without the menu, then you assume that you need that, you need that, you need that. So your assumptions can be very costly. So it's good to plan out your meals, and not only during travel, even at home. We do this at home. I do this at home. Even for home, we don't really necessarily need to travel to be able to do this kind of planning. And these are small planning that helps you save your finances. These are small planning that help you save a few dollars from your grocery list that can go towards your travel saving, or can go towards any other thing that you would like to achieve. So even at home, write out your meal plan for the week or for the month. So like at home, what we do a roster for the week for the whole people. Children, they live in our house except the adults, and they are asked to do all that. So apart from that, in the roster for duties at home, then we have the roster for devotion. As and when we have our devotion, who's going to be the one who's going to be leading, making sure that everybody's going to be seated and be the person responsible on what transpire through their devotion. Because it's family tabletop, I would like to share the minute details when it comes to family, because sometimes we take for granted that it's easy to do or everybody's doing it, but if you haven't done it, then at least it's food for thought for you that you can take it on and implement it in your family. So we have those type of rosters, the duty roster, the devotion roster, and also the meal plan. The meal plan we work together with my daughter-in-law. So in a week, she will be sending me, the menu, recommended menu that she does for the whole week. And when she sends me for the whole week, and then if I say, okay, this is good to go, or you switch this, there's too much oily food there, can you put in the boiled food? And then looking at the weather, if it's rainy season back in Fiji, then we'll increase more soupy food. Then it can be soup chicken, it can be belly, boiled with lamb neck, it can be any other thing that as long as it's watery and more soup. And that's how I work with her. So through that menu, once finalized, and she'll take that meal plan for the whole week, and then she will send me back, the need list. So she will go through the pantry, go through the kitchen, check the crops and everything that we have, and then she'll get back and say, all these things are there, I will just need these few items for this menu. And when we work together that way, like it really decreases, it makes a big impact on my finances, because I'm working and I'm very busy. I don't even have the time to check all the pantry cupboards. I didn't even have, that time to go out and really check what the portions of meat that I still have in my freezer. So as and when I want food to be cooked, I'm working like without checking sometimes. So having her on board, which I'm really grateful, thank you, Nate, for doing that for me. And she comes out with all these things. And on top of that, what we do catering as well for my TV, or the company that we work in. We prepare the meals we prepare the lunch for the 3 days. And that's when my daughter comes in, and she does her own menu, she does her own buying of her own ingredients, that she does that. Then we have 2 weeks in a whole month that we do cooking for our mission team. We have our foreign divisions that send funds in, and we, through my daughter-in-law again, Nate, which I send her the funds, and she coordinates this for me. So whatever that we're having as a family for that week, we increase the volume or whatever that we're cooking to also cater for our mission people. And whether we are at home or whether we are in Fiji or whether we are out of the country, that cooking goes on regardless. So we'll find people to come and help us with it. We'll prepare everything, or we'll get everything done just to to do that. So that's I want to share that if you don't have a meal plan for the week and you're just cooking. Kaya basta ganito nga nakangay, tipo nakangay available sa dola na fridge. Say, di ko to karakang, galibuli namin to na to, levanto yan na sequence, di kayo na kaba na be singa, kiba kayo kontabe, kiba kama na ko na kaba o tiyan nito na madlawa, try and note down the expense, keep all the receipts of everything that you have done by working this way. And not done. Once saya na masin, saya na pateta, bali nga meron na pateta, meron na kg. Doon nga na kg pateta, rota nga ni ko. Tapos bali matago, bali nga meron na kg. May boli-boli pa kalala, na rice, na suka. Nakakita ko muli, wala may someone na recipe nga wala, just note down the money that you use for the day. And then, try and plan, like I'm telling you today. Try and plan. You plan that for the whole week. If it's hard for you to plan for 2 weeks or for the month, try 1 week. And depending on how you get paid, whether it's weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. So after you write that down, and you buy in bulk. If you have to be eating rice 2 times in that week, then you'll have to buy that rice that fits, buy in bulk, buy a 5 kg, or if you can afford it, buy a 10 kg. So what I do at home, I buy big containers. These big containers for those of us who live in Fiji, and in Suva you can find them at New World, or even to some of the Chinese shops. In Suva, we have this nice Chinese shop that have a lot of little good household items. It's called Dexin, Dexin. And the one that we go to is at Garden City in Suva. You can get all these cheaper versions that when you bring home, you just label them. I know I've mentioned this, I've taught this before, but I want to bring it again today. And you label them and you keep them in your pantry. So if you buy a 10 kg rice or flour or 5 kg, you put them into this container. Just pour them in the container, seal them up properly, label it, and then you work from there. So with that 5 kg rice, it's amazing. When you buy a 5 kg and you map out the 2 meals maybe with rice for that week, there will always be still leftover. But if you buy little bits of 2 kg and 2 kg, the leftover here is very little. The tendency of just throwing it to the pot to be all cooked, or just sitting idle on the shelf, and then you buy another one. And you forget about this one, so it's quite costly. Ni ko boli-boli malalay. Ni ko bakit kini lebu nila. Ni ko boli-boli malebu. Lebu dia kada kene rongo-rongo ni 10 kg, 5 kg, gona kene lang. Ni ko vinda ngoi vina kada ke mena no motor na expense na vi matlawa. Ko boli-boli tiko nga ena bistinga, ngai vivi tiko nga na balsa, se na store ai boleka na mo da tiko kina. Those shops or canteens that are closer to where you stay, sometimes or most times they are more expensive compared to if you go to the supermarket. So those are tips of saving money. Sometimes I can go, okay, I'm waiting for me to get this payout, or I'm waiting for me to get my refund, my tax refund, or I'm waiting. Like you look forward to these big things that will, like you, this is my take. I'm going to, save money from there, or this is a big money that's going to come my way. But that comes only once in a while, and maybe once in a whole year. But when you do something about your, your life habits, and your shopping habits, and your management of your funds every week, this brings a much more, substantial amount of saving compared to the one-off that you can just receive that you're so reliable on. And as you say, like what I said, if you have allocated maybe $100 or $200 a week for your shopping, use the same, put it in a separate account or in a separate, money box, and work within that. So whatever money that you put there, that's the money that you're going to be using for catering. I do that with my daughter-in-law because we do catering. So she has a small till, and when I send her funds, or I'll get her account and I said, okay, I'm transferring this. The money that has been sent to cater for the mission, I'm transferring to your account, or for you to work with. And once she does that, she keeps. If I give her cash or money that is left from that week, she keeps it in this till. So when we go on to the next one, she will be telling me the breakdown. This is what you have sent, got all this, and this is the balance, and it's in the till. So that money becomes the base for the next payment. It's the way you manage, the way you handle. Already can they live in a love with the billing. Kapudiko, Magoko is solely life. Okay, don't know, can the sound and don't mother. Go to the lovely. The commander stuck with that Tamani lovely. A 17 Dawara Kamindona can the sound is so level, we can get kind in But as you go and, get promoted or you push yourself to study so you can get better pay, if you cannot manage well the little money that you're being, paid now, like $100 or $200 that you're getting out of your pay, you cannot manage that big money. Even when you get the big money, most of us, Balata nanon the management na nila maliliw. Okay, the second to nanon the manage na nila maliliw. So, take that, as food for thought for you today. You may be living overseas, you may be living outside Fiji. The same thing, applies. Live no. Don't come abroad. The things are very cheap. They are very cheap. The tendency to overbuy or buy things that, they don't use, it's there. Because it's very attractive. I mean, you go past the shelf and then you are just tempted to buy it.
Management is when you see what you need and what you have. See? That's how to manage what you have to meet what you need. And if we don't manage well, or if we want to live a life that is over what we have, that's where the problem comes in. So, how to manage, you must see what you have. Morena kachubiko, uchangele na kaumende wa biganiti kile kachubiko. Bali kama kaisana, orongo na simeche, menda kakoni bulutu na muri, baltanganyo to ya to bulutu baya, or to ya to bulutu baya. Balabuna enda na bita latikina. Balta isin toto atana kai tuko ingana. Kembali, good management is when you use what you have in accordance to what you need. What we have, and we live according to what we want. We just have to walk humbly and accept the fact of what we have, and we work from there. And we believe when we are faithful with the little things, then we can be faithful when we are getting promoted or getting more on what we have, and then we can little bit to do more on what we need. So that's where management comes in. And I like because I travel a lot with her and also go to the shop with her. I'm just amazed of the management of the little things that we have or what we have to make what we need. And I tell you, it's achievable. It's achievable. It can be done. And sometimes when we look at people travel and people they have things, it's not because of what they have, what they achieve. It's their management. Kaya nakakita may wakawaya na taki na wakawaya na taki na kamo ya taki na mani sila wala taki wakabuku matua kwa yango kuna kale tiko bakaya tumbunga wala ento na biwa kani chubita kita sila ni mama utaka ningo na kita mama roikina da mama ngi dalo matua sila mangi masata mama menda mama roi yang matua kita nari dalam kali itu kita pakai tubuh, tubuh me sebenarnya pakai tubuh ren kita pakai itu na kami bakul buita gitu loh ena nonta do mama roi nonta alma tua itu kata nonta pakai nata ki ka me kuki na pakai sama-sama milik kita ondoli tite sepole goli or even if we overseas and we have a lot of money because of our pay, or even in Fiji, holding a good job. But if you don't manage well, after years of your work, after years of your achievement, what you have does not tally with what you have. But our experience of mine, level kimami, we are kind of kimami but makaya sola mo nito bidalati na ka lewe to token kina ka ta magrawata ero bidalati balta mana makaya lele ito na ni mama roi kina hawa tua en na kini mula ni inota tiko en pura na bitu na tura ele una amona bita na ito ke makaya do bitu bika ka da lo rate mata na lewe makaya do lo rate mata na lewe gona kaya da makaya sol pulu kina. We give everything on what the people see in public, but we must always focus on our family in our private life, and what we do privately in the secret place and maroito wangoli and donanona and we tell you why we are ready to mata balatan bulan maroi kina rotua we don't have motua ito na kaya bakalu ito binakapta siya di ko ayaw motua managing well. Ero ni so sini karang kalau ia baca nora elo batua kira nora garam na kanita na bukai itu na kai baska.
Yeah.
Itu kira bubu.
I mean, we cannot deny the fact. We've lived with the Indo-Fijians. You know, okay, dapat ada pakai ken, like okay, dapat ada pakai ken. Kaya baka balik na nonda bula, you know, itu okay, kakek rinda wase. It's like whatever you have is for everyone. You know, it's supposed to be for everyone. And if you don't give it or if you don't share it, then you become in Tagalog when you go. You know, it's like okay, kailangan ko. Sebenarnya menandai cukup baik kuaya, soalnya masih betul betul weekend. Yang ko, reserva que ninguém rama na kalo enda garama. Yang nadona kaori da na non rama tua. They very wise, you know, the management of their life from a very early age. I've always had friends. You know, Indo-Fijian friends from school, high school, and to see, and then even at work, I've always had them as friends, and I love them. Na kaya sa na bula batikira, bula tinure da na varo ni non rambula. You know, they can be your friends, but when you're going by your meal, we are one. If I take you know, Fijians with us, and then we gotta feel okay, my kailan. Dal na lunch.
Tuloy vida.
Yeah, tuloy vida. May kikosa.
Hindi mo na-serve.
Yeah, hindi mo na-serve. We can, hindi you know, when you go for their lunch. Yung doon ko rin na friends with Virango. Which for me it's a very good learning, very good exposure. And then I learned that. So when I go with them, or when from school to workplace, lagi kina. Semi-curly, you know, make it volleyball.
Hindi mo masaya, huwag ka na natin.
Iyo. Kailangan, se nadabu kaya, you know, what do you want? I said, it's okay, just get it on. You know, like, just get it on. And I said, sure. I said, I'm good. So, kailangan, and then, okay, you offer, that's it. And then also, like, if they're going into, you know, to buy, like, sa wali sarga may nakiran, dami wali nakiw. You know, that kind. And I really, for me, it was good learning. But seeing on the top, I'm really glad that around of you, it just belataos ni Bulame Bar, you know, I was saying, Susu by the Susu Waka Lily, say Susu by it okay. Around go 15, Namulea, Belatan Bulandon too, and I know, you know, I asked them about how they do this saving. So, with the way that I was brought up, I would say was good, but being exposed to these people and asking them questions and learning from them, yeah, I learn more. And I learned more that it's amazing that when you assumed, you know, that they are, but it's just the way that they handle their little finances that come by. And this is one good example. You know, we have the company that I was working for before, based at the airport, it's an airline. And when we go for meetings, you know, from the hangar to the airport, and they have the airport car park fees. So you're taking a company car, and the company car has got a card for the fuel or whatever that, you know, comes with it, but it doesn't have anything to do with the car park fees. So if you go there and have your meeting for 2 to 3 hours, that's it. You pay. And for me, like if I cannot pay, you know, that's it. Come give back the key to, you know, to whoever's handling, or give it back to the PA of that GM's car. And that's it. Because I know I took it up for the meeting and I used it for the meeting and it was my meeting, then I paid for the fees. And one time, because that was normal for me, one time I was actually standing there with this person